I'm just gonna go ahead and record. I'm just gonna go ahead and record. I'll just upload it on YouTube instead. It's saying it's on live, so I'm just gonna cut the stream off and have it on live, so those who are linked it to my site can watch. Because the internet connection is the reason it's dropping it. It's not because of my computer. My computer itself can handle a lot of things. Actually, it handles heavy video editing. I haven't done video editing in a while, and I am considering editing video for this one right here in particular. I'm really considering that because now I can do it with Ustream Producer. I'm capable, hopefully, of converting this video format and making it more enhanced. Because I know y'all see upload a video and y'all say, "Oh, here he is again. Here he is again." So it's time to step the game up on the King James the Bible K1611 KJV channel. It's time to step the game up big time. Just now, I'm going to plan to invest into a better webcam, a 15 megapixel webcam, to which be able to see me better, see me clearer, see me in my real form. Because some videos will see me all bloated, like 30-40 pounds bigger. Some will be like 30-40 pounds smaller, whatever the case may be. So, want to get accurate picture of who I am, accurate picture of everything. I know this is not the perfect setting as far as the light and in my living room, etc. But I mean, I don't have a high quality webcam. If I get a better quality webcam, then I'll be able to be interacting a little bit better. You'll see me, my picture a little bit more clearer. So I'm working on that at the moment. I'm not asking for any donations. I'm praying to the Lord that He'll provide for me. This Creative Cam is like 6, 7, 8 years old. It's an old camera, I think it's actually 4 years old. So I think it's time to step it up and get a Logitech keyboard, a Logitech. I have this old Logitech keyboard right here, and this I had to take the power thing out of it because it keeps on shutting off in sleep mode, and the pad does not work anymore. I can easily interact, and I know you people are tired of me getting on this microphone. And I believe the Logitech with the 15 megapixel can have clearer microphone voice. So I got to put it on the stand versus on my other laptop. My laptop is 1.3 gigahertz and it has 8 gigs of RAM, but it's 1.3 gigahertz. So it's not going to process as easily compared to this big tower I have, which has 4 gigahertz. That's why I easily to stream a little bit better. But it's time to step it up. I feel like I'm getting a little lazy. I'm being consistent with the Sabbath every Saturday, because I do this every Saturday. I have not skipped a beat. Only time is something like a real emergency or something to that matter. I have no one to fill in for me either. Some of you may feel me boring, not exciting. I want to hear some exciting verses, get some exciting scriptures, inspiration. Well, if you want to be inspired, go to church. Okay, go to the preachers on Sunday. TD Jakes, Creflo Dollar, Leroy Thompson be more than happy to dance for you. And while you put your money on the ground, they will be happy to anoint that by doing the sea walk all over your money. And you can go ahead and do that. That's fine. You go to the other channels that sound exciting where you have a man of many. I don't have many. It's just me alone. One-man army. But hey, it is what it is. And we have to deal with that. So I'm going to invest in a 15 megapixel Logitech camera, webcam, and a better, easier microphone. I kind of like one of those microphone that I'm able to what's the word? Kind of like wireless and I'll be able to have one of those wireless pieces attached to my computer so I can wirelessly speak, and I'll have one of those clear sounding mics. I think I'm thinking about probably getting a Bluetooth dongle or something, like one of those Bluetooth dongles where you can attach to your computer, and computer can be a Bluetooth interconnection, and you can interconnect between that, and if I can have the Bluetooth piece audio as well right here, and then connect to the computer, and then have this webcam right here going on, I believe that will be really interactive. Backdrop would be nice. A color. This is an apartment, so I really can't do much of anything about that when it comes to paint color. There are certain rules you have to apply to in order to maintain a stated dwelling, as they call it. So I'm considering into finding a new place, a new house to move into. It's just aren't too many of them on the market, and they're a little bit higher than what I need. But I am having the intention to move because I need something, a bigger space, bigger area to actually do more things. And of course, I have to be a little bit more patient into a lot of things that are going on. But I am consistent when it comes to Sabbath and the radio. That's what keeps me around. That's what keeps me going. It's consistency. I can't just sit there and say, "Oh, I don't feel like doing Sabbath." I can't not. The Lord, look at what the Lord has to do. He has a gang of responsibilities to deal with, and His responsibility is compared to yours, zero. So we, as the children of Israel, have to strap on. We cannot afford. People say, "Well, I go through depression," and do get depressed at times? Yes, I do. I'm not going to sit there and lie to you, but I cannot afford allow that to hinder me. I can't afford to do it. I cannot afford to be depressed. I get depressed? Yes, I do. Not because out of my personal thing, it's just because there are a lot of things I got on the table that at sometimes can make you slightly depressed. Doesn't mean you go to the medicine cabinet and pop a few of those happy pills. That's not going to help. Or you go to the bar table and get you about 3 or 4 shots of alcohol. That's not going to help, because when you're off your alcohol, you're worse than ever. You actually even more depressed now. You smoking dope, that's not going to help. You're going to be more depressed after you get off your high. What can break down depression is realizing we're the children of Israel, realizing that if we keep the laws, commandments, and statutes, we're going to start seeing that light comes out of that sky, out the clouds. We're going to see that shimmering light of hope. And that's why a lot of people now, you got this protesting: Ferguson, Mike Brown, Ezell Ford, Kenarjic Powell, John Crawford III. You have, what's that other brother's name down in, I think, Louisiana, who shot himself in Victor Wright III, shot himself in the chest while handcuffed. I mean, come on now. Doesn't make any sense. And that kid from Wichita, Kansas, who got shot 16 times. Some kid, some Edomite kid. I personally cannot afford to allow depression to hinder me in this work. We don't have a lot of time, and there's a lot more people who are severely depressed, actually on the thought of suicide, compared to people like you and I. So we have to be their strength in order to bring together, like, the history. What makes keeping going is the book, because when I bring it to people and introduce it to them and they become interested, that actually helps the cause. Just like a lady we had on last Friday, political activist named Arlene Army. She was on there. I hope she don't mind me saying her name. She's from Oklahoma. Okay. She's a good woman. She's in the faith, Christian woman. And there was things she didn't know that was in the Bible. Well, she kind of knew a little bit, but she was a little hesitant, And I told her a book in particular about the 10 lost tribes and the promised lands, and how the 10 tribes got there to Aslan. And I was telling her about, well, why you think the other nations end up pricing the book so high, because there's a lot of information in there they don't want you to know, and they price it up to $2,000. She was like, wow, man. And then she, of course she has to look it up, research, and she did and found it. And last time I contacted her, she was on Twitter. She stated that she was intending to buy the book, even though it was $2,000. So, that truly intrigued me to where I say, wow, the work is actually effective. And a lot of people don't think, I'm trying to bring my heart, I'm pouring all my heart and my soul into it, and people, they're not listening, they're not receiving. Look, there's going to be those who are going to receive, and there's those who are going to reject. And I know a brother in particular who was doing a lot of videos back in 2006 to 2010, and he kind of dropped off a little bit because he felt that he was getting the lack of support, which is true. We don't get a lot of support from our own people. It's like God has to put them in a chaotic situation in order to get support. And I think this brother deserved that support during that time. Now he's gone off and talking about things, multiple wives and all this other stuff, and it's like he's mad at the world now because he was not getting the support. Now, if he was getting the support that he needed, I think he would have still been going on much stronger than he now is doing. I believe he would have been on much stronger because he did a lot of work, and I think he does not get a lot of appreciation that people should give him. There are brothers out there and sisters too who do a lot of work for the Lord, and you're not going to get the admiration, and don't expect the admiration or prestige. I don't expect admiration or prestige when I bring the word whatsoever. I don't expect it, and I don't want it. I just want people to say, okay, I need to do something. Okay, I understand. That's all I want. I want people just to wake out of this damn matrix and have some discipline in their lives and their families. Stop all this black on black crime. The Bible is the answer to ending black on black crime. It tells you why this is going on. They'll be running like wild bulls. That ministress women will be raising monsters. Ministress women, mainly women who've been laying up with a whole bunch of men with a bunch of kids with multiple fathers. That's ministress women. Okay? And it talks about men who are worse than infidels if they're not a man of the family. That's shaming. And that's what we need to go back to, shaming. We need to go back to integrity. We need to go back to honor. Now, if you're with a woman that is very psychotic, or someone who is wicked and who won't change, then I can understand you separating from yourself away, even though you got a child. I can understand that. There are certain exclusions, or a man who's very abusive, and she separated herself from him. I can understand that. And you have a child with that person. I can understand the separation. Okay, there are exclusions. There are exceptions in this situation. But in the most hand, some of y'all just be arguing over some of the dumbest stuff. You didn't cook the grits correctly, or the chicken was overcooked, or the sex wasn't that good. Really? Okay, so you're going to find someone that has great sex, but then she's giving that up to everybody else. She's giving it up to strange men. In some cases, if you marry her, she may give it up to some of your family members. Yes, whores get down like that. And some may even go further than if you have children outside of marriage that are of age, she'll probably sleep with them too. Since you want great sex, well, you got to pay a price when it comes to great sex. Or same with the man. A woman talking about, well, I can't be with this other man because he's a little overweight and he's not good in bed and his penis is not as big as I would like it. So she finds a man with 10, 12 inches, not knowing that he also likes to lay the pipe with underage girls too. Or if you marry this man, He might, and you have daughters, he might want to try to lay some pipe on them. And probably your mother and your grandmother and your aunt and your sister and your cousin and your friend and anything else he feels that his thing can stick it in any giving hole. So you better be very careful about things of saying, oh, his sex wasn't good or she can't cook, or well, teach the woman how to cook, or teach, or have her go to your mother's house and have your mother teach her how to cook or something like that. Like the Bible says, the older woman shall teach the younger woman. Like the older man shall teach the younger man to be men. And the older woman shall teach the younger woman to be women and not whores. Now, if you got an old hoe, well, she needs to go. She needs to, you stay. Tell that woman stay away from the older woman. Then, same thing with the man. If he's an old hoe, a pimp or whatever, no, get a righteous man. And what keeps me from being depressed is power body or weightlifting or extreme training, because it keeps you focused. Focus on the task at hand. When you look at your body, you look better. You're making progress. You're changing your diet because you don't want it to destroy all the work that you have put in. You'll start to say, I don't need to drink alcohol. I don't need to smoke dope. I don't need to do these things because they may affect my physique or whatever you're seeking for. And as well as the scriptures. Because when you find out that you're the children of Israel, there's some people get excited, elated, and then it burns out after a while because now they have to do work. And then you know how Negroes are. They don't like doing work. I'm not talking about so-called blacks and black men and women. I'm talking about Negroes. They don't like doing work. Instead, they like to have everything given to them. Entitlement. Basically, that's what it is, entitlement. They want things given to them instead of things they have to work for. That's just reality. That's just facts, plain and simple. I mean, that's something you can't change. It can be changed. It depends on if we as a people would want to change it. That's the thing. If we as a people would want to change those things, and we have to strive for change. We really do. We really have to strive for change if we want to get to the kingdom. That's the only way. If we want to get to the kingdom, we have to strive for change with these scriptures. And that's what I did. I changed. I used to be a cursing sailor. I used to be an alcoholic. Okay. I used to be going after women. I used to eat pork, eat shrimp, eat crab. I used to be 110 pounds heavier. I used to be a lot of things. But when I slowly and steady see that I need to change, and the scriptures is telling me, I guess it's easier for us men to make better changes than women, because when people give you the hard truth, and the word does give you hard truth, you have to make some decisions. Either you want to continue living this life and probably be on a hospital bed or dead, or end up going to prison for doing something stupid or whatever the case may be, or do you want to make a change so others can look at you and say, maybe I should strive to be like that person, not just like you, but to walk and try to live a cleaner life like that person. No, it's not boring. The life is not boring. It's what you make of it. As long as you're not breaking any laws, you can enjoy life as long as you're not breaking laws. You're not breaking the commandments. You're not in sin. Going to a club, that leads to sin. So you want to avoid that. Now, if you're going to a club with like minds, brothers and sisters, in order Then that's different. There's no problem with that. If y'all coming together and under the Most High, like the feast of weeks, the feast of dedications, if these, the feast of the tabernacle. I mean, come on, the Passover. You think they just sit around just bored themselves? No, they actually have fun, clean fun, not the kind of fun you're back there smoking dope, you back there having orgies, or you out there getting drunk, doing drugs. That's not fun. That's sin. That's disaster. That's vileness. That's vanity. No. You can have fun as long as you're not breaking the laws, man. I mean, you can have a bowling party. There's nothing wrong with that. There's nothing wrong with that. Y'all not sin. Y'all not in sin. There's nothing wrong with that. Just because you come to truth doesn't mean you live a life of a hermit. No, you don't sit around stare at a candle all day long. No, but on the Sabbath it's a day of rest, so that means no purchasing, no cooking, no buying things, etc. I mean, you can still go outside and enjoy the sun, whatever, and bring the Bible with you and go over the scriptures, or do like I'm doing, teaching in the Sabbath. Yeah, you could do that. You don't have to be cooped in the house all day, staring at the four-corner wall. No, you want to do things like this, or if you with a group, y'all can gather together and have church on the Sabbath. I know there ain't too many groups gather that they're on the Sabbath because it's just people aren't waking up fast enough, which in my opinion, but there's a time for everything. There is a time for everything. Just like there's a time for love, there's a time for hate, there's a time for peace, and there's a time for war. There's a time to give, and there's a time to kill. It's not all. It's in the Bible. It's all love. We're all about love. See, that's what brings sin. If you teach a doctrine about love this, love that, that is leading to sin. Because when you say, oh, we love everything, that means, so you love the drug dealer that sells poison to your people? Do you love the homosexual that engages in sex with underage boys? Or do you love the lesbian that engages sex with underage girls, or going after your little daughters, converting them to lesbianism? Do you love that? No, you hate that. Like Christ said, thou hatest the Nicolaitans and their evil and their deeds in the book of Revelations. Let's get that, since y'all saying you might be making that up. Let's go to, I think it's Revelation 2 and 6. Let's move this over here. Let's go to Revelations 2 and 6. Why don't we? Let's prove all things as the scripture says. Here we go. Revelations chapter 2 verse 6. Here's what Christ said. But this thou hast, that thou hatest the deeds of the Nicolaitans, which I also hate. So Christ hates the Nicolaitans and their evil deeds. So I hate the homosexuals who engage in indoctrinating kids into homosexuality. I hate the deeds of fornicators and adulterers who engage in indoctrinating kids into this type of lifestyle. I hate that because that brings sin. There's some things I hate and there's things I love. Do I love everybody? No. Do I do my best to be at peace with everyone? Yes. The Bible says not to love everyone. Talking about love thy neighbor. Your neighbor is not everyone. Your neighbor is your brother who is an Israelite. And that's why you have black on black crime through the roof, because they believe in Christian church, love thy neighbor means love everybody. And see, when you have that type of evil doctrine of love everybody, then guess what? You're going to have crime. You can't, because you can't love everyone. You can't, because not everyone loves you. and you get confused, and then you end up doing something crazy, and then you end up getting gunned down by somebody because you took the perception of love everybody, not knowing that there's people on this earth that just hate you just because of the color of your skin, just because the texture of your hair, and just because your characteristics and who you actually are. There's always going to be someone who's going to hate you, and you have to understand you can't love those people. I'm going to love you. No, I don't love a Klansman. You stay the hell away. You stay on your side, I stay on my side. That's how I look at it. I don't love the Nazi. You stay on your side, I stay on my side. You stay away from me. Now, if you come at me, you're going to get hurt. And if you come at me with the intent to kill me, you're going to lose your life. Plain and simple. Cut down straight, right down the middle. No snake eyes. When I roll that dice, it's going to be 7-11 every time. It's going to be truth. It ain't going to be no snake eye lie like these preachers be teaching y'all. Not everyone loves you. So why are these preachers teaching love everyone, love thy neighbor? You're not, Edom, they're not my neighbors. Now, according to Deuteronomy 23 verse 7 says, thou shalt not abhor the Edomite, for he is thy brother. So they are our brother through the lineage of Esau and Jacob, yes. But, and in the book of Proverbs chapter, I believe 16 and 7, let's go to Proverbs 16 and 7. Let's hit some scriptures. Let's get some real stuff going on. Let's stop faking the funk here. Let's stop playing foolish games. Let's stop whoremongering. Let's start getting one man, one woman. Let's stop this damn multiple wives crap. You niggas done lost your mind. Here we go. Proverbs chapter 16 verse 7. When a man's ways please the Lord, he maketh even his enemies to be at peace with him. So when you keep the laws, commandments, and statutes, thus saith the Lord, even his enemies will be at peace with him. So the enemies, even the nation of Edom, the nation of Ham, the nation of the Hagarenes, the nation of Ammon, the nation of Moab, the nation of Ishmael, the nation of Tubal, the nation of Magog and Gog, will be at peace with you if your ways please the Lord. And when the Lord says, when the ways please the Lord, means you're keeping the laws, commandments, and statutes. So when you hear people that go straight into the New Testament saying you don't have to keep the laws anymore because Jesus died for us, you're a damn fool, and that's why you have more hell than a little bit. Because you're not keeping the laws, commandments, and statutes. We ain't talking about sacrificing animals. That was done away with through Christ. Okay, the multiple marriages was done away with through Christ. Those were the two main things that were actually done away with. And then people get simple talking about, oh, do you follow all 638 commandments, 667? Yeah, no. These are the same people who don't believe in the Bible. They're atheists. They're trying to find something to argue with, to try to put you down and trying to make you less than nothing by following the laws, commandments, and statutes, and even try to get you out of that and into their doctrine. Ignore those people. Don't even have a conversation with those schmoes. Don't even have a conversation with those people. Shame on you if you do. Don't be fooled by their foolishness. Well, let's go into the book of Timothy 6 and 20 while we at it. But yeah, let's go to Proverbs chapter 16, verse 27. An ungodly man diggeth up evil. So these atheists are ungodly men. They diggeth up evil. They're not godly. They're of the devil. They're of their father, Cain. They're of their father, Lucifer. They're of the devil, plain and simple. Clear cut and dry. I don't give a damn. You can comment, you can cry, you can call, you can call my Blog Talk Radio tomorrow 5:30 p.m. Central Time and cry me a river. You're the damn devil, plain and simple. We're not playing games here. We don't have time for playing games. We have time to do work. Let's go. An ungodly man diggeth up evil, and his lips there is as a burning fire. So you spitting out fire. That means you're spitting out evil. You're trying to burn foundations of people, just like an ungodly man will come into a husband and wife couple, and he will spit all types of evil, saying, "Oh, your man," and lies like, "Your man did this, your man did that." Yeah, baby. And so she may end up being convinced to go with this other man who's spitting out lies about you. In my opinion, and any man who does that type of evil, and we know through the grace of Christ, we cannot, do certain things. But if I had it my way, that man should have been put to death for that, and the woman should do the same, and the woman too, that spew out stuff to a husband and say, "Your wife did this, your wife did that," so she can sleep with him. She ought to be put to death too. That is evil. That is demonic, satanic, and it will not prosper. It will not prosper. And that's how you see these divorces and marriages getting broken up, because you got somebody who is ungodly, a forward man, so of strife. And that's why you have black on black crime through the damn roof. You have black on black crime through the roof because of you got forward punk made sissy pants sagging men who have forward mouths, always got something to say, ain't got nothing to show for, always got something slick, trying to sow evil with your marriage, trying to sow evil with your relationship with a woman, trying to sow evil with your business. Always something slick they got to say, and it's evil. And that's why you got black on black crimes through the roof, because you got a slick talking nigga who's running their mouth, who's spreading lies just like a woman, and somebody end up getting clapped for their end result. And you got a lot of them on Facebook. This gang talk, this tough talk. You don't know what the other guy has. If you insult him long enough, you're going to get yourselves killed. Oh, he shouldn't have did that. How, it's funny that when someone attacks you and 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 shoots out darts, and you do your best to be at peace with them, and then they keep going to where the point, then you respond lethally with lethal force, and you respond in a way that is extremely lethal, and then you say, he shouldn't have did that. He was such a good guy. This person you did, he was such a good guy. He was such a good man. Oh, he was somebody's son. Now you're upset because the guy who's been attacked, and y'all been cheering this other guy who's attacking him, got dealt with. And now you're upset. That's black on black crime 101 for you. And now y'all complaining that he used lethal force to take down this evil, wicked, forward man that God hates. Nigga, please. And y'all protesting and marching and crying. He shouldn't did that. He shouldn't did this. He shouldn't did this. He did wrong. All of y'all should have been put to death just for even entertaining that type of reaction. How dare you? You see this man attacking this other man for no reason, just cause he wants to destroy his business, destroy his family, destroy his marriage, destroy his reputation. What do you want the other guy to do? After he done ignored it, after he done tried to be at peace with this man, what do you want him to do? God loves everybody. Jesus loves. Obviously, there isn't no love because you're spewing hatred towards your own people. What do you want that man to do? You want him to sit there and keep taking it? And then if he committed suicide, he was like, oh, he weak. He couldn't handle it. Oh, man. Just like Robert. Oh, he weak. He couldn't handle it. Mm-hmm. Yeah. That's wrong. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Uh-huh. Maybe he couldn't handle it. Mm-hmm. He should have did something. And then when he do something and it's lethal, then y'all say, oh, he shouldn't have did that. James 1:8 says a double-minded man is unstable in all his ways. The children of Israel are very double-minded people. You take from your from the nation of Edom. You take that. But see, the nation of evil can be very calculating in how they being double-minded. See, they already they have backup plans. They got plan A, B, C, D, E, F, G, just in case their double-minded tricks gets caught in a lie. They can always come with a backup plan. You, on the other hand, you don't have one. You become double-minded, and you just become more wicked and more wicked and more wicked and more wicked and more wicked. Okay. A violent man entices his neighbor and leadeth him into the way that is not good. So you got those out there who just have a out of control temper. Someone, you say something to me, I'm gonna do this to you, I'm gonna do that to you. Da 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 da. That's a violent man. And he entices his brother and leadeth him into the way that is not good. Death. So you got a violent man who has a bad behavior. Someone who, someone that say, okay, someone says something, fine, whatever. It's over. Now, if someone keeps saying it 50 million times, then you can respond. But someone who just quick to jump on something and then bring somebody along with you, hey, I got to do this, man. Yo, gonna come with me, man. We got to handle this. We got to do this. We got to do this. That's going to lead to evil. That's why you see black on black crimes, drive-by shootings, because you got one guy who has a problem with another guy because he said something, and instead of being a man, say, look, brother, what's going on? Instead of going through the channels, you went through the channels and then you can't solve it, then okay, I can understand that. But a violent man don't go through the channels. The violent man just instantly reacts without thinking, and he brings people along to help participate in his outrageous actions. And that's how people get killed and go to prison. I tell you the truth. Let's go to I think 1 Timothy 6:20. Here we go. 1 Timothy 6:20. O Timothy, keep thy which is committed to thy trust, avoiding profane and vain babbling, or in opposition of science, false and so-called. So that means, Lord, Tim said, Timothy, keep thy which is committed to thy trust, which is the Bible, the laws, commandments, and statutes, avoiding profane and vain babbling. So avoiding arguing with people and end up having to curse them out, basically. Okay, because there's a lot of people who use F word, B, 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 H, 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 F, 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 G, D, G, D, F, 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 S, H, S, H, 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 and they try to argue, and they have to use 53 different types of foul language to get their point across. And by the time they're done with the 53rd cuss word, you already turned out. But like, okay, what the hell are you talking about? Okay. And vain babbling, these atheists, a lot of atheists, people who don't believe in the Bible, avoid them at all costs. And those who do know the Bible, who are trying to manipulate it and trying to find fault in the Bible, avoid vain babbling. Leave them alone. If they argue with you, ignore them. You're on the street preaching, ignore them. Drop the scripture and let it read itself. And if they bring whatever, and don't worry about when people say, oh, you won't answer this question because you know where you're going to go to. Yeah. You don't want to know that. Ignore that foolishness, because all that is trying to get you stirred up. That's all it is. And niggas don't know any better. And it mainly be the Negroes that always do this type of stuff, and women. They will always trying to find some fault in what you believe in to get you out of it. Why are you trying to? If you don't believe it, fine. Stay where you at. Go where you feel that you can be, that you're needed. Don't try to come in and go after this brother or sister that believes, and then you trying to find ways to get them out of it. Why are you doing that? Stop doing it. Stop doing it. If you don't believe in it, don't believe in it. Fine. Go somewhere else. But don't try to stop somebody else who wants this understanding, who wants this truth, who wants to believe, from learning? Why are you trying to do that? Why are you trying to stop somebody else from learning their history, their records? Why are you trying to say, oh no, don't believe that, you're an African American and blah 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 and this and that? Leave them alone. If they're trying to learn their history and about what they need to do in order to be better, leave them alone. And those who are the truth, don't try to force this upon those who don't believe. Let them be. If you bring the word, they hear it, they reject it, leave them alone. Okay? If they don't want to hear it, they'll walk away. Just like the Edomites. If an Edomite doesn't like what you say, most 9 times 10, they're going to walk away. And you won't see them again. But our people, they'll come up on us, they'll counter argue, they'll try to use semantics, they'll try to play games, they'll say, no, African spirituality, all this junk. If I'm walking down the street and if I hear Sarah Salnetta talking about African spirituality and Egyptology, I'm not going to listen. I'm just going to keep walking. Because that's something I already know that's not fruitful, period. I've been there and done that. So I'm not gonna walk and walk and listen to Salnetta. I'm gonna keep walking. I'm not gonna sit there and stay around and then argue with the man, because that's what he believes, and you're not gonna stop him from believing what he believes. Salnetta has in his mind already, this is what I believe, and I'm not gonna change. So why try to sit there and argue with the man to try to change him otherwise? He's not going to listen. Same thing with Brother Polite. They already got in their mind, this is what they believe. Now, if they want to listen, they will listen to us. But they're not. So why go to where they at and then try to argue with them? They already got in their mind that this is what they believe. And that is absolutely fine. That is absolutely fine. If that's what you believe, fine. I'm not going to sit there and argue with you. Same thing with certain camps. If certain camps believe a certain way, okay, hey, if they don't want to change, fine. Fine. Don't expect them to. But some of y'all will sit there, argue, fight. I mean, you'll do anything you can to try to say, well, we can help you out, blah blah blah. Look, if they wanted your help, they will come to you. They will come to you. But they're not. So that basically tells you that they don't want to hear it. They don't want to hear it. And your best bet is to leave them alone. Let them be. Let them be. But again, some of us are just too hard-headed and just don't want to say, okay, well, they don't believe. So be it. So be it. Not everyone is going to be on board on this truth. Not everyone. And don't expect them to be on board. There are going to be those who are going to be willing to listen, those who are going to be awakened, and those who are just not they're just going to say, hey, I just don't believe in it. But when it comes to all this, Michael Brown, Ezell Ford, and Kendrick Powell, and all this other stuff, and they said the globalists are the ones that are causing this, and it may be the case, but you know what? a lot of this is our fault. Really,